Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Saturday, 24th of July, 6:30. So I'm Ding. Welcome to Ding's Crypto Space. I think this is my fourth video of my channel. And this is officially the first public direct live video I have today, because the previous three, I kind of unlisted them while I was recording and then made them public. So we'll be interested to see how it goes. Anything I say today is not financial advice, of course. And I gradually would like to introduce some of the basic technology and basic information in the crypto space. But I think in this field, most people more or less already know what they're doing. And also we would like to hope, there are newbies coming in, right? And they probably would be either introduced by their friends or read something on the news and wanting to come to the space, and maybe they will check YouTube or other website information to find out what is cryptocurrency, what is Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc., and so on and so forth, how to buy them and how to get into the space. So today I would like to introduce my journey, largely what happened in 2018. Whilst I started investing, strictly speaking, in late 2017. So I thought there would be a few interesting things I would like to share. But also I want to emphasize what Bitcoin in particular means to me and the crypto space in general, but Bitcoin. So let's get started. So if you would like to continue with the journey with me, please like and subscribe, and also join my Discord or follow me on Twitter so we can continue our conversation and bounce ideas. So I think the maximum time I had was almost around 3 Bitcoins. And then I reallocated my Bitcoin to something else, other coins. And now I have under 1 Bitcoin. It's, I think, up to yesterday was 0.84 Bitcoin. So not a lot at all. But compared to newbies, probably a lot of people who just come into the space would think that, oh my God, Bitcoin is so expensive, or it has already gone up so much, it's not going to be go up more, so I'm going to look into buying something else. So why am I accumulating more Bitcoin? So my target is first 1 Bitcoin to start with, but hopefully I'll get more. But we'll see how it goes, especially with my strategy of how I generate my passive income. So if you would like to know that, you can check my other episodes where I shared how I manage my portfolio and how I'm generating my passive income from what projects. So Bitcoin to me now and in the future will be an asset. Now, you might have heard many times of all these famous people or people in the crypto space talk about Bitcoin as an asset. Now, what does that exactly mean? Is it not just buy low, sell high? No, I think to me, I have gone beyond the stage of buy low, sell high with Bitcoin, probably with Ethereum as well, probably with my other coins, depends. I use it as a collateral because you can wrap Bitcoin on the Ethereum chain, right? And then you can put it in places like Aave or Compound or other financial protocol on DeFi. And then you can borrow other coins against your collateral, which I mean Bitcoin at this stage. So what I did was I put my Bitcoin and Ethereum on Aave, and I borrowed USD against them, and then I buy other coins. In my case, it's CRV, and I put them in Convex in order to generate yield, and that becomes my passive income. So that is why I think Bitcoin is a collateral and is becoming more and more heavily as an asset to me. So it's like if you have properties, and in particular, if you have properties in buy-to-lets. Now, I mentioned in my earlier video that I work full-time in a real estate development company. But actually, prior to that, I was working in the education industry for quite a number of years, which has got nothing to do with properties. But maybe because where I come from, maybe because I am always quite sensitive towards the property market. I had this idea of owning my own property very, very long time ago, probably when I was still a teenager. And when I was able to save money, I started to save. And when my visa in the UK was allowing me to buy properties, I immediately started my research on how much money I needed, where I would be able to afford, how much money I can borrow from the bank in order to get a mortgage, etc. And then I thought that would be the end of it because that's the knowledge I had at the time. So I thought, okay, I have my own property now, which is a flat in London, which is where I live now. And I never thought I would go a step further so quickly, only a year after. Probably again, thanks to my sensitivity towards the industry, I was just going to work as normal, Central London, reading a newspaper. I think it's not Evening Standard. I think there was like a Metro News or something. At the time, I was reading, and there was like a little advertise on the corner of the newspaper saying, would you like to generate passive income, and would you like to be financially free? And if so, please come to this free seminar, and we will tell you everything. So I thought, okay, it's free. It looks like genuine. Why don't I go and have a look? So I went, and it was about buy to let properties. And I went for a couple of them, and I later on actually joined in Jill Fielding's financial property, like a 3-day workshop. So I then actually like paid quite a big sum of money at the time for me to attend it like a 1-year course. And with that, I then bought 2 buy-to-lets. So the idea here in this country is when you have buy-to-lets, in certain areas of UK, when property price remain quite reasonable, but the rent is actually quite nice, and you can probably get the rent out of your property that is higher than the mortgage you get, mortgage you pay to the bank, so that there is a little bit of actually income left every month for you, which people call passive income here. And at the time, I thought the teacher was telling me, I'm remembering really clearly, is that Jill asked us like, what how much do you think you need every month in order to be financially free? I think the word financially free means different things to different people from different countries. And I'm probably not going to expand too much on this episode. But what I thought at the time, like that was probably 10 years ago, a couple of years ago, I thought, okay, looking at my current salary, maybe if I have £2,000 a month, I will be financially free, because that covers more or less what I spend every month and a bit more. Now my expense is over £2,000 a month, but that's a different case because I have more debt as well. It's funny, isn't it? The older you grow, the more debt you have. Oh my God, when is the end? Maybe crypto space will free us up, huh? So anyway, it's the same. Like I treat Bitcoin like the buy-to-let properties I have. So I treat them as an asset. I treat it as an asset because I can use it as a collateral to generate passive income from somewhere else. So that's what I see, what Bitcoin means to me, and a lot of other legitimate coins in the crypto space. So this is the mindset I learned from DeFi, practicing DeFi, but also from some of the YouTubers that I learned and I followed. In particular, Noah Sadam, which I follow every day, and on Twitter as well. And that is a person that I really respect. But the reality is, a lot of people don't really get it. A lot of people come into the space with a smaller amount of money, and they just want to double quickly, triple quickly, or 5, 10, 20x times quickly. But that is not wrong, but that is just a different mindset. Like what Michael Saylor said in one of his recent interviews, is that when you have a small amount of income, equity you want to invest in the field, you could be more towards investing in a company. But when you have a bit more money, you might invest in a building. Whilst if you are managing a triple million fund or billion US dollar fund, then you might be investing in a block of land because they last longer. So it really depends. And I did some trading at the beginning of my journey, which I'm going to toss base on, which was late 2017. So it wasn't the best period you can come into the crypto market. I remember the first sort of zero point 0.1 Bitcoin I bought on the Christmas Eve, probably Christmas Day in 2017. The price was 15,000 US dollar each. So it was just gone past the highest point and just went down slightly a little bit. So obviously it went down much more later on. And in 2018, I then started to invest a lot in ICO. As you know, ICO was starting 2017 and 18, and it was crazy. But what I didn't know was that I overestimated myself too much of understanding the space. I read about Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I got all excited about it. And then I put my money somewhere else. That's one of the mistakes I think a lot of newbies make. And in 2018, a lot of ICOs were, pretty crap and disappeared. Now, maybe a couple of them left and still survived up to date. But today, what is more solid? Probably still Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I remember one of the WeChat, big WeChat social media person called Ren, which is a Chinese person, that actually at the very beginning warned all the newbies, including me, and said in his article that all the newbies should be investing in Bitcoin, Ethereum, at least, I think, 50% or even more. But of course, as a newbie, nobody took any notice, and most people gone to do ICO at the time and probably leveraging as well, all the other fancy stuff you could do, like what people do in the traditional finance, or the finance tools and stuff you can play with, and probably lost most of your money. And in 2018, I did went a bit crazy in the crypto space. And when I go to work, my boss saw me with with a dark eye around me like every day in January and February. And he was like, "What's going on with your thing? What happened to you? Are you not sleeping well?" And I was like, I've just gone into this crypto thing, and I just find it fascinating. I don't know if it's worth to do, but here is what it is. My boss had a look at it, and probably because he's a businessman, he thought, well, that's interesting. Why don't you investigate a bit more? So I did, and I then was very active with some of the crypto projects at the time. Then one was called Elastos. They're still there. The founders are amazing. The two founders came to the UK later on at different times, and I helped them with some of the community meetings. One is with the London South Bank University, and I can't remember where the other one was, but we organized quite a few number of community meetings with them. And later on in August, I was also invited by them to host their first annual conference in Chiang Mai in Thailand, which that conference invited, I think, over 100 investors and community supporters from across the world, from different countries, coming over to Elastos. At the time, there were a lot of people supporting Elastos, and I think there still are. I'm still on the Telegram channel, but I'm not very active after 2018 because I was just going back to my normal work, I guess. And I think one of the strong supporters from the UK community, I think his name is Chris. I would love to, be in touch with him again, because I think he's left his previous job from military places and actually starting his own project now, I think. So it'll be interesting to find out what's up with him. And then I think I was also supporting HOBI. HOBI at the time, I think, is the second largest cryptocurrency in the world, or maybe in China, just smaller than Binance, I think. And HOBI was very aggressive at the time, I think, wanting to expand their markets abroad, and they targeted London as well as other places. So I was then hosting HOBI's first event in Leiden Hall in the city in London. And there were more than 300 people there. And it was a really long day, quite tiring, but I really enjoyed hosting such a big event to actually see how amazingly passionate all these people are, and including myself. And HOBI, I think HOBI hosted the second event in London later on, which I was again invited to chair a session on. I can't remember what it was now, but I think it was a round table of discussion on the technology side of the cryptos. So that was interesting. On top of the investing, I was actually being active in these community support, project support. And as I probably mentioned in my previous episodes, we also, with the support of my boss, we also invested in one of the startup company back in China, but their idea was actually doing the IPFS, which is the mining machine for storage, peer-to-peer storage machine for that. And we invested a very tiny amount of money, but we had a very small share of that company as well. And they're incubating the IPFS mining machine company. So we went there, we hosted a conference attracting people who were interested in buying mining machines at the time. And then there was a guy who obviously is a developer, came to talk to me and my boss, and then invited us to his office the following day. And then introduced us to somebody called Li Xiaolai. Li Xiaolai is, at the time, he is very well known. He was regarded as the richest person holding the most amount of Bitcoin in China at the time. I don't know if he's no longer in that position, but he was very active then. And we met him in his office. We had a sort of a meeting together. And I think at the time, people were all very actively wanting to have their own exchange, because people realized having a centralized exchange would, generate the best income for you as a business. But now it's changing. Like this year, it's DeFi, right? It's decentralized finance. It's DAX. So that's interesting. It's only 3-4 years, and the industry has already been changed. And then I made all sorts of friends, and one of a friend in the crypto space gave me a book, which was written by Miss Lee, called Financial Freedom. But it's more than financial freedom. It actually tells you a lot of thinking behind how Mr. Lee, Teacher Lee, became financially free, and how he sees that as a starting point of people's life, your personal life, and going forward. It's like a line that goes like that. And financially free is only the starting point of a new life. So this is my third time reading this book now, and if there's a chance in the future, I would love to be in touch with Mr. Lee, just to let him know that I really appreciate what he said in the book. Also appreciate, I once had an opportunity to meet, a great person like him, and I just thought that's amazing. And then one of the other amazing person I came across with was Chandler Coin, which he, I think, started selling beef, like meat, in Pingyao in Shanxi province in China. I think he had a family business. And then he got into Bitcoin quite early on in his life. And then I think he took a big courage to have gone to Sichuan province where the water is. So he did some mining there. And obviously, in September 2017, a lot of the Chinese have, finished their business due to the policy in China. And Chandler is one of the person that immigrated himself with his family to the US. But at the time, these big guys were quite open and promoting this. So I had the opportunity to have his WeChat, and I actually has got like a Chandler Coin then at the time. I think he issued only like 800 Chandler coins, and I have one of them. Apparently, as he said at the time, that if you ever come to his villa in the US, if you have this one Chandler Coin, you can live there for free. But I don't know if it's still going to be the case. But he's still he's still active. He like, I think he records video, and he published videos like on social media. So I still follow him a bit on WeChat. Sometimes I watch his video. So so that's a few key things I came across with in 2018 in a nutshell. And I think although I didn't make much money in 2018, in fact, I think I lost some money. But you don't lose the money like immediately, You invest in some of the projects, and maybe in 2019, 2020, it turned out to be rubbish. But in 2020 and 21, like this year, some project came out to be okay, like ICP, for example. And I think I invested in another project called Original, and it was okay. So some project actually came back okay, but some like came to zero, and some I didn't even get the coins. God knows what I was doing there in 2018. But I don't regret what I did, because everybody has a different path in the way they learn. And you've got to pay some intelligent tax, which is tuition fee. But what is more important is you reflect yourself. You make sure you actually learned something solid and positive, and actually you can convert them into something really valuable to you, that you can remind them, or if they change your mindset to help you to be better, then that's worth it, so long as you don't lose everything, of course. So that's what I would like to share today. And in a summary, I explained what Bitcoin means to me, which is more of an asset that I can use as a collateral, and my journey in 2018, and all these fantastic people and opportunities I've had. And I hope you have some thoughts about what you think Bitcoin might mean to you, or has been meaning to you. And if you would like to share some of the amazing people you met or stuff that you have done, please do share with me. Please like and subscribe, and also leave your comments. And welcome to join my Discord and follow me on Twitter. And I will see you next time.